rank on people based on our gifts and talents, when the entire workshop is not about our gifts and talents, it's about our servitude. So now, I answer questions in a couple of ways. This is called the parking lot chart. Parking lot chart. That means if you got a question in your mind, you say, I'd like to know something about that. Well, you'll take one of these little sticky, write your question down on there, and during a break, anytime you want to, then you stick it on the parking lot. Uh-oh, there we go, stick it up there. So when I get a break or a time, I'll look at those, pull those off, and start answering those questions as we go forward. That means you don't have to interrupt me, but at the same time, you'll be able to get your question answered as well. You'll be in your groups talking with other people, and something comes to your mind, and you can write that down and just stick that sticky on that parking lot right there. So it's a parking place. And there will be questions that we're going to ask as we go forward. And sometimes I can answer them right on the spot, or I may say, any questions on what I just discussed, so that we don't lose the vein of what we're in, we stay with that. Now, your other question that has nothing to do with what I'm discussing, put that over there, and we'll get to it. So everything has to work in like a train on the right track, and we don't want to get derailed on something. You know, so-and-so, I was at a meeting not too long ago, and this woman got up and said, so, hold up. You're taking the train off the track. Write that, put it over there, and we'll deal with it. Now, another way I answer questions is sometimes individually. When there's a break or something, I might talk with you as a personal issue you want to deal with. It's not public. We don't want to talk about it publicly because it might offend somebody or break a rule. It might break rule number 3 because that's something that the community is dealing with, or something that's still got a hot button, or still sensitive, and we want to be aware of that, okay? Now, your first assignment, before we even start on the next screen, is you're going to line up by your birth date, month and day, without opening your mouth. You're going to line up with January here and December toward the door, without saying a word to each other. And I want to see how good you are without using your mouths. Beginning with January 1st, right here, and December in the back. So you have to begin now. Make sure you talk to people so they can, you can use your hands to make sure, because I need not only the month, I need the day. I need the day. All right. Without saying a word. Okay, I'm going to give you a chance to recheck to make sure, without saying a word, recheck to make sure you're in line. If we get all the way to the back without any issues, you're talking, don't say a word, don't even breathe out loud. Can't move your mouth. You can't mouth it, just keep your mouth closed. I see some folk coming in who are new to the meeting, but not to the church. We are lining up to those who are coming in by month of your birthday and the day. Month and the day. All right, let's see how good we are. Wait a minute. I see somebody still moving back there. Okay, you're checking. Good. Don't cheat. You're in the church. You're in the house of God. Okay, don't cheat. Let's see what we got now. Are we ready back there? Okay, here we go. Tina's pointing. Okay, she's directing traffic as well as running. All right, Somebody's trying to get in line with us? Okay. If you don't know where you are, you're in the house of God. No, just kidding. We are working on month and day of your birthday without talking. Okay. So, bless you. Keep picking hard. You're talking. You're talking. You can't talk. See how hard it is not to talk. Yeah, I know you were exactly, but you can't talk. Bless you. Keep picking hard. You got to do it without talking, and there's a reason for that. Okay. Now let's see how well we are. Are we ready? Yes, we are. All right.
January 3rd, January 21st.
Good.
January 23rd.
Okay. February 14th. April 2nd. May 9th. April. Okay, we way off.
What you doing back there?
Let me get you in the right place. April 16th. Okay. May
27th.
27th. June 10th.
June 29th.
June 29th.
7/31.
7th. July 3rd. August 3rd.
August 5th.
Good. Woo, close to mine, okay?
October 16th.
Okay.
October the 11th.
You need to trade places, okay?
October 17th.
Okay, you're good.
October 26th.
Good.
October 28th.
Good. Okay.
December 17th.
You knew where you needed to be. 29, you left. Ain't but 2 days left. Okay, in the whole year. Okay, now, here's what I want to ask you. While you're standing there, if you can, if you need to sit down, I get that. Because some of you have canes, I noticed that. What did you have to do without talking to the person to make sure that you were in the right place? What are some things that you had to do?
Hand language.
Hand? What else? Anything else? Sign language, use hand.
Communicator means to.
It's another way you found another way to communicate. How?
Mind?
With your mind without using your mouth.
So some of those we already knew the birthday. So like, no, you need to be up here.
Okay, prior knowledge helps you. Prior knowledge, hand communication. Now, how difficult was it? What emotions did you feel? Anything you felt uncomfortable? You felt okay with it?
I felt good because I knew I was going to be number 1.
I felt good. Okay, that was not a problem for you. Okay, anybody else? Anything you felt?
Like I was wondering why Sister Rosa behind me.
Okay.
Because she didn't communicate to me.
Okay.
That when her birthday was.
Okay, so you knew something, but you couldn't say anything about it. Okay, I knew something was wrong, but I wasn't at liberty to talk about it. Another thing with leadership, know something is up, but you're not in position to talk about it. Okay, what else did you notice? Anybody else?
Well, I'm a man that moves in silence.
Okay, you're moving in silence. Okay. And a lot of times people in leadership, some of the strongest leaders are those who don't say anything until it's time to say something. Yes, ma'am.
I had prior knowledge.
Prior knowledge.
I knew my sister's birthday was in the same month but earlier, so I just pushed her in front of me.
Okay, that's right. Now I'm guiding someone without saying anything. Guiding people, that's leadership skills. Guiding someone without having to put your hand on him. Now you know better than that. You know. See, and we can do it without opening our mouths. Anything else you picked up? Okay. Did anybody smile at you while they were doing that? Anybody get a wrinkle on their face and kind of Okay. How difficult was it not to talk? You're talking. What's your name?
Evelyn.
Evelyn. How difficult was it, Evelyn?
I'm a talker.
You're a talker. Yes, you are. You had to talk. You came in here to talk.
I mean,
Okay. I love you, Evelyn. Okay. From the outside. All right, you all have a seat. Have a seat. Good job. Give yourself a hand. Good job. Good job. Good job. Get comfortable. Well, this time goes so fast. I got to keep moving. I got to get the rolling here. Because Evelyn, don't go too far. Sit close. Okay, good. Excellent. Good to have pastor and assistant pastor with us in here.
yes.
Come on in the house. Now, Tina, let's go to the next screen. One of the things about this workshop that I want you to grasp is we're going to deal with your personal development, developing you as a leader, developing you as a person to say, okay, I got good skills in this area here, but I'm not strong in some other areas. Leaders are people who put stronger people around them, and they are great cheerleaders. Okay, they put smarter people around them, but they're smart enough to keep them all working together. That's what good leadership is. If you're the smartest one in the boat, you got a problem.
That's right.
Okay, and if you're the only one in the boat working with all your smartness, you're not a leader. You are a slave to the job. You're a workaholic that is not doing the job of developing leadership. Okay, I've got to tell y'all to silence your phones, but let me see if I did mine too. Let me check, make sure I silence my phone. I took it off my hip because it's going to be important. Yeah, I did. It's going to be important to be able to walk through this workshop with some of the things we're going to have to do. So number one is, I hope you can read that. Be deliberate in everything you do. Value time. Value your time. Because if I remember correctly, God put a limit on time. He never took away from Adam, male and female, or any of us gifts. He never took away our talent, and he never took away the ability to get money, if you will, but he added time to it. Treasures he gave us and talents he gave us unlimited, but we got a time limit to everything now. Before Adam sinned, there was no time limit. He had treasures, he had talent, and he had the eternity. We got a time limit now, so we got to value our time. Then we're going to cultivate skills that actually matter. Okay, there's no need in adding things that just look good, called fluff with no stuff. Okay, I call it fluff with no stuff. When you as a leader start to grow and pay attention to what God has created in you, you've got to redefine yourself to make sure that what you did when you were 30, you're looking at now you're 60, you're wondering, why am I still trying to do at 60 what I did at 30 when I need to cultivate myself and say, what makes me the best at 60 years old that I need to drop away that I can't do at 30 anymore? There's no need of me trying to wear that hairstyle or wear those clothes, wear those stilettos, and my leg, everything in me is killing me now because I'm trying to act like I'm 30 when I'm really 60. I can't lead doing that, okay? Cultivate skills that actually matter. I'm just talking for a few minutes, getting you warmed up, okay? Embrace your imperfection as your allies, okay? That's number 3. What that means is wherever you are imperfect, okay, it's good. I need to know that. I need to know where I don't have it. What am I embarrassed about? What do I need to work on? And work on those things. And know that that's how I need to get better. I don't get better by ignoring it. I get better by looking at it and saying, okay, I'm not a very good speaker. Oh, I'm not really good at standing in front of the public. I'm not really good at organizing my skills or what I want to do. I'm not really good at organizing a meeting. So embrace that and then do some studies on how to get better. And that's what number 4 is. Devote yourself to the pursuit of excellence. Try to see what else can I do outside of just looking good. Because if I want to come in and look good, you all got that down pat on a Saturday morning. I mean, you hair's in place, everything. You look good. But cultivate something else that goes along with that to say, I'm going to pursue excellence, not just in that area, but in all the areas of my life. Then always engage in deliberate practices. Know your objective. There's something we discourage in our church. And in case some of you don't know this, 5 years ago, a little bit over 5 years ago, my brother and I combined our churches. Our children who were already grown decided, look, if something happened to my dad or your dad, I don't want this church. I don't want to pastor this church. I don't want to do this. We can't do this. Even though we were working together, probably come together 6 times every year doing something together, from Vacation Bible School to Thanksgiving services to New Year's Eve, whatever it was. We were doing all kinds of things together, but it was our children who recognized we are better together. And they came up with a program to show us this is how we'll work. And then we created a leadership team that figured out how to do it without anybody else showing us. And we worked on it. And when we came together, the goal was in 3 to 5 years, you all will be pastoring the church. And my brother and I will be moving to some of the objectives in the church or outside of the church. We came to that point. They are now installed as leaders of the church, and I'm doing things outside of the church. After pastoring for 47 years, I've been preaching 55, but pastoring for 47 years, we found out how to bring the church to the next level without me being the one standing in front of the people all the time. So you have to figure out what is best based on your community. So here's the question I have to ask all of you. And I'm saying I have several churches here. Somebody's phone is beeping, I think. Okay. Oh, somebody wants to achieve whatever. Y'all handle it. How many churches do we have here? Now, I had 1, 2, 3 already. 4 churches. You got 4 churches here, maybe? So, let me ask you something. If your church was burned off the market today, burned down, and God forbid, if your church was burned down, who would miss it in your community other than the membership of this church? That's the question we asked ourselves whenever we had our meeting years ago. Who would miss us? If no one would miss us other than the members of our church, then we're not doing the work of the church.
Wow.
The work of the church is not inside the walls. The work of the church is outside the walls.
Wow.
Think about it, okay? And we're going to deal with that. I want to give you that overview so you'll know I'm not talking smoke and mirrors. I'm telling you what we have done. I'm talking from experience that when you say we wanted to take this church to the next level and you all take over, and I'm looking at my son-in-law who is now my pastor, okay? I'm looking at my daughter who is now our first lady. I'm looking at my son and my daughter-in-law who are the assistant pastors, and not looking at them thinking, I wish I had kept my job. I can preach a better sermon than that. You got to figure out how to move it forward. Okay? Don't get married to your positions. Stay married to Jesus. Okay, let's go. Now. Oh, that's a t-shirt. That's called a t-shirt. Okay, that's called a t-shirt. Okay. Next is free your mind from insatiable desires. Now, insatiable desires are those things that really are just something that makes you feel good, emotional things that make you feel important. Like every time we get up, someone gets up in the church, they got to call your name or show gratitude to you. That's really not that important, only to you. Or someone gets up and testifies, you hope they say something about you in the good things. That's what Saul tried to do with David when David had the anointing to kill Goliath. Wear my stuff. Wear my stuff so when you kill him, I get credit for it. Okay, that's called insatiable desires. Okay, number 7, know your purpose. I'm going to move through this. Know your purpose. It's Miles Monroe was one of the greatest teachers of purpose I think that anybody have ever heard. If you don't know him, he's already gone to be with the Lord, but he wrote some incredible books on purpose, purpose-driven, knowing your purpose in God, and knowing that if there's something you would do free, if money was not an issue, check it out. That maybe your purpose may be lined up in that somewhere. Find out what that is, okay? Next, what I want to do is make number 8 is face your giants. What is the thing that you're most afraid of? What is that thing that makes your knees almost buckle when you think about, I have to do this? Oh, when I think about this, it really irritates me. Whatever that is a giant in your life. facing people, talking to them. And then you'll be surprised when you look at the 7 basic fears of man. Google that up sometime, the 7 basic fears of man. And speaking in public, fear of old age, fear of loss of love. There's 7 of them. And fear of dying is one of them as well. But think about those things. If that's your greatest fear, you got to figure out how to face that and overcome that. And then number 8, control your mind. Know your circle of influence. Now, when I say circle of influence, I'm going to draw something here. Let me get the right kind of pen so you can see it. You have something called a circle of influence. That means things that you can control or things you have power over, and you have to figure out, okay, this is my circle. Okay, let me draw a couple circles. And then I'll show this to you just in a moment. Hold on. Here we go. Okay, this is called circle of influence. There's 2 circles there. You see that? There's one called me. These are things that I really have control over. And I have to write those things inside of that circle. Okay, I have control. Names the thing I have control. I have control over what I eat, my sleep. I have control over my finances. I have control. I don't eat everything somebody put in front of me. I just don't. Thank you all so much. I appreciate that. Oh, that looks so nice. But I don't eat everything. And when I was younger, and I would come down to the Bible way, and they would give me, they would pound me, and I would say, give me those big old biscuits. And y'all don't know anything about it. Y'all remember big, but they would not only give you a love offering, but they would pound you. And you get all this food. And I was eating everything. Now that I got older, I figured out I can't eat everything. I got to figure out how to trim down. Because like my uncle used to say, when my brother asked him when he was little, my uncle, he's a huge guy. He's huge. Of course, he's going to be with the Lord. We were little then. And he said, Uncle Stomach, your stomach's so big. He laughed. He said, you got to understand, back during the day, I had a mule. And I would pack a loaf of bread and a whole slab of bologna. And I would plow that mule all day long. He said, now I got a tractor, but I still eat that same loaf of bread and slab of bologna sitting up in that tractor. So when things change, here's what I'm saying to you. I can control certain things. But when you start talking about people and attitudes, I got to put that in God's hand.
Well.
People,
Jesus.
angry children, I can't control that. Sinning by others, I can't preach on that. So what happens is you figure out, okay, here's what I can control. I've done this on purpose. I've sat down and drew this circle and said, can I control that? No. God, I'm putting this in your hand. But I can't control this. And we have a saying in our church, do what you can. Do what is possible. And watch God do the impossible. Too many of us are trying to do what only God can do in your own circles. And that's killing you. Leadership is you lead people. You can't make them drink. You can't make them eat. You just lead them. You got to leave the rest of it in God's hand. And sometimes people don't understand until they bump their heads, fall down, and scrape their knees. Then they realize, you know what, you were right. They may not even say that you were right. They will say, well, I thought about it, and the Lord showed me. They play a God card. Somebody say God card.
God card.
People will play that when they really need to say, I'm sorry.
Come on.
The Lord led me to another church. The Lord led me. That's called the God card. Once they play the God card, leave them alone. Okay? Leave them alone. Because they are not going to play with you fairly. Okay, so that's the first rule. Now, finally, harness your systems. Now, systems are good as long as they take you toward your objective. Know what your objectives are, and then harness those systems that will take you to that objective. In other words, let's try it again. If you have something going on in your life that, or in your church, that's going to help you make your church a better church, then look at those things. What people can help run that system to make it effective? Then are they in the right place? It's like being on a school bus. You got to have a driver, and you got to have the kid sitting in the right seat, turned in the right direction. So too many churches have too many folk trying to drive the bus with the leaders and sitting turned around in the wrong way, looking the wrong way, and they're not helping you. They're more of a weight and a hindrance. So we have to figure out, okay, is this person a manager or a leader? Managers, you give them assignments and they can accomplish it. They won't make it any better. They don't have a vision on it, but they will do what you tell them to do. Leaders will see what the vision is and the mission statement and make that auxiliary or make that department work with that auxiliary and keep it rolling like it should be rolling in the church. So this is important. Now, any question on what I just shared with you? Any question? Any comments on what I just shared with you? It was that good? Really? Okay, you all right with it? Now I'm going to give you 1 minute to talk with somebody next to you about something you picked up out of those 9 or 10 best version of me thoughts. Share with them something, and you have 1 minute. Where's that music? Oh, that was your phone. No, never mind, don't worry about it. I thought Tina was turning some music on back there. That was somebody else's phone. Give me 1 minute of music. Can you help me out, Tina? Give me 1 minute of music, and then we'll stop. We look like I have church in a minute. Jesus. We're all over the place. Okay, hold on. All right, now, before we, can I get a couple of people that want to report and share with us what you look like you want to share. Come on, share with us. And a big smile on your face. Yeah, I'm looking at you. Come on. You can stay right there. You can do it from right there. Yes, ma'am.
Yes, I was looking at what you was talking about, the circle that you drew, the circle that you drew, yeah, that over there. And I was thinking about that you only control that God. See, I'm talking about, with myself, that I got a bad habit of trying to control things myself. Instead of letting God do it, I'm trying to do it myself, and it turns me down. So I'm learning, you heard what I said, learning.
I-N-G, I got that.
I'm learning to let God handle it instead of me handling it, and I'm seeing things through and asking God to let me see things through his eyes instead of through my eyes.
Okay.
And so I'm seeing things a little bit clear.
Okay.
He's taking the fog out of it.
Yeah, and I guess what too? You sleep better at night too.
Yeah.
Thank you. What you got, Evelyn? You want to talk, Evelyn?
Oh, I want to talk?
Yeah. I want to see if Evelyn want to say something.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Well, I don't feel like talking too much today, though.
Okay.
I love to talk, but yeah, we talk about good things.
Well, Leah can tell you. I mean, I don't care.
Let Leah tell it?
Yes, Leah can tell you. Okay.
Well, we just mentioned, the point of facing your giants.
Facing your giant.
Yes, and of course, I mentioned a personal one to her.
Yeah. We don't have to give it out. Okay.
Well, okay.
You don't have to tell it, but facing the giant.
Yeah, and just, what we need to do, and then how we need to get in there, because the reality is, the things that I mentioned, there's actually something else behind that needs to be taken care of.
Bingo. And facing those giants also help us recognize, why am I fearful of it? Why is that thing so big in my life? And if someone else had that same issue, it would not be that way. And that's going to help you get better. Good. One more person, and we're going to move on to our group assignment. Anybody else want to share with us?
I thought it was significant in the approach of, you said the difference, harnessing your systems. You said about how, well, one person might be a manager when they're given a position or over a group or whatever, but then another person is a real leader because they get a vision. And versus just doing what I was told to do.
Good.
You know what I'm saying? But going and getting a vision to take that department or whatever to the next level, not just maintaining. So yeah.
That's good. And one of the things that, let me make this clear too, nothing wrong with managers, because sometimes some managers don't realize they have leadership skills, and you might be able to pick up on that and put them in a position and develop them. But mostly true managers are good to hold things together.
Yeah.
Until you get to the point of telling them, listen, I want you to be in charge of this, but don't get married to this. Because when we start moving and transforming, that may not be your job. And that's why so many folk, when the church started growing, and I remember when the secretary or this treasurer of every department carried the money home and kept it in a sack or something, or under the mattress, and then they'll say, well, how much money we got in the usher's treasury? Child, I got to go back. I'll let y'all know the next meeting. Because they got to go back and pull up the mattress, pull the money out. I'm not going to say what they did with the money in between, but supposedly all the money is in the sack. We're going to assume that it's all there. But that was the way we did church. Then we started figuring out we need accounts. We need to put all the money in one account, have one church secretary, one church treasurer that will report. But the money is not going to someone's house. Well, some people got angry with that. They're taking my job. And they left the church because, now I'm talking about way back, ways back, okay. But now churches are growing and understanding that we don't need to be doing all these things. For instance, I'll share this with you quickly. About 80% of our funds that come into our church never go across the front of the church or into the finance office. We get it online. About 20%, maybe 25% of it comes in either in the mail or someone writes a check or pays cash. But about 75% of it or more, we never see it. It just goes from that person to our bank account. Because we had to figure out how to diversify. How to get people who are watching you online, don't have a church, and want to pay their tithes. Or give an offering. Well, we got a way you can do it. You can do it right there from your phone while you're on the car. Hit that button, do Zelle, do Cash App, do whatever is secure give. We got all these ways you can give without ever coming inside the church. Diversifying. Using those things is important. Okay, thank you for sharing that. Okay, now, I meant to tell you this during the break. I have several books my wife and I wrote together, but if you want to get a copy, I only have 3 with me today. And the first one is what I call a really good Growing in God book. It's all color, but it's a really good book about how growing in God is important, not just getting saved, but like a baby grows, growing in God. The next one is one I wrote on COVID. And we were in the home, and I was reading Romans chapter 8, and it really blessed me to find out, wow, that's what an overcomer is. That's what a conqueror is. And I was sharing this with our church, doing a Bible study with it, then realized, oh, this is a book as well. Looking at some of the things that people have in their lives that's really causing them to hide behind their gifts, like a Samson. You got a gift, you can shake rather than roll, but you can't control the issues of women. You can't control the issues of some of the desires in your life. In our flagship book, my wife and I and several people wrote together. We wrote it, but we had several different teams of marriage people, about 200 years, not quite 200 years of marriage combined. But we wrote a book that's called a self-help book, Happy Marriage. Everybody's looking for happy, but they don't really know how to find it. So this is another book. So if you want to get them, I'll bless you. If you bless me financially, okay? It works both ways. Yeah, you thought it was gonna be free. You give people stuff free, they don't appreciate it. Make them pay for it. I used to counsel folk free. They wore me out. I said, oh, not anymore. Okay, now it's gonna cost you for me to counsel. Now they really get into business and come there and want to get down to business. Okay, now, next screen, Tina. Here we go. Now we're going to do what's called the best version, but this time we're going to divide it up into 4 groups. Divide it up into 4 groups. We got 4 tables here, and you're going to be in one or the other group. Now, here are the 4 groups, and I'm going to try to break them down in a way. Time management. Some of you say, I don't know about this. So let me explain to you what time management is. It is a skill of making what time you have, whether it is all of your life, all the way down to workshops or trainings or meetings, and making sure that you're managing the time that you have when you set up something. So some of you consider, and if you have more than 4 people, at least 4 people in your church, it would be good to have each of them at a different table, okay? So time management will be to my left, all the way to the left. You're going to be talking about things about what does time management look like. You can Google it up. You can have your experiences. You can talk about what you do on your jobs and how that your supervisor, your counselor, your president, your company manager keeps things rolling and not having meetings just to have meetings. Time management. The second one is what we call physical. Now, this physical health is going to deal with mental, emotional, and physical, okay? That's table number 2, mental, emotional, and physical. And when you come to this table, there's that music, okay? You come to this table, it's going to be, what does that look like? Why is it important, and both of them, all of them, why is it important to manage your time? Why is it important to be physically, emotionally, and mentally using your ability strong and in shape? Why is that important to you personally and to the leadership, to your family? Third group is going to be continuing education. Now what that means is why do we need to go back to school or have classes, or why is it important to do some studies or go to workshops, et cetera, and discuss those things, and how is that going to help your church? And finally, leadership skills. What are leadership skills? Those are the things that help a church grow. What are those skills that make leaders better? What does that look like in a church, a small church, a country church, where they used to give you love offerings and pound you with good old food? Good old food. Yeah, okay, I got to stop that, because if I was eating that good old food now, it'd be a different ball game. But nonetheless, we got them all. Leadership. What does this mean for my continual personal development here? And then we're talking about my emotional, my physical, and my mental health. And then first, over here, we're talking about time management, developing and using my skills in time. So if you will, I'd like for you to divide up, think about which group you're going to, which one you want to go to, and then get there, and then I'm going to give you your next assignment. Not everybody at once. Choose your table. And while you're going there, think about it. I like for it to be different churches a little bit. If there are more than one, again, churches that can divide up and go with another church. Not all of you being at the same table. I don't want all the Bible at the same table, but if we can get some other folk that learn and glean from each other, would be great. Okay? And remember, face your giants. I don't know much about this. Get up there and do it anyway. You may not know much about it, but get up there and do it anyway. Okay, and I'll give you the next instructions in just a moment. I need some leadership skill for it. Here we go. All right. Y'all share a little room there. Share a little room. Okay. We probably don't need the tables as much as maybe the chairs. Let's get some chairs around there if we can. I don't want 4 tables is quite enough. We get everybody around those 4 tables. Okay? Oh, we're good. I'm not ready yet, Sarah. Hold on. Now, if you can't get at the table, just get behind them, right behind them on the next row. If you can, that'll work. And if we don't have enough, okay, are we good? Got enough chairs? Everybody good over here? Okay, you good? No problems? Okay, now, what I'd like for you to do is write out or talk, discuss among yourself first and foremost, what does this particular thing mean in our group? Okay, what does that mean when we talk about time management? What does that look like? Why is that important? You're discussing that. Or why is it important to talk about physical, mental, emotional health? Why is that important to the body, to me as an individual? And then those who have continuing education, I call that personal development. And then maybe taking your team somewhere. I was with the pastor the other day. He's bringing his whole leadership team down to Myrtle Beach, coming up real soon. They're gonna feed them because they've been working so hard. His Christmas gift to them is to bring that leadership team down there and have a great time enjoying a great meal. Isn't that awesome?
Yes.
Yeah, they worked hard. I'm not throwing any shade on anybody. Okay, good. And then finally, when we start talking about leadership, what does that look like? I got two young men here. What's your name, buddy? Yazir and Zebediah. Zebediah, I'm sorry. Zebediah?
You can call me Zebediah.
But your name is Zebediah. Okay. All right, so I got two young men here who are going to be leaders. I'm speaking over your life. Going to be leaders.
All right.
And take it to the next level, all right? So now, it's important for you to know what you need to do to go to the next level. All right, so discuss it, find among yourselves who's going to report your information. Who's going to report it? Because you got to have a recorder and a reporter. Somebody writing it down, somebody going to talk about it. All right, go for it. You got time. Start talking. Play some soft music there, Tina. Not too loud, but we're going to hear a lot of action now. This is what we really go for. Okay, now, what I'd like you to do is we're going to report out. Reporting out means just that. You're going to get a chance to give your information from your group. And this is going to take us some time because I want to be able to, each group to report, but I also want each of the other groups to be able to add to theirs. If you say, okay, I understand this a little bit better. The idea is you're going to bring out the information in your group that's going to help us understand why time management is important, why mental health is important, why it's good for us to get continuing education, and on and on. We're going to be able to deal with those personal development things, okay? The whole concept now is you're going to start doing the work because you've done it already on paper, and then we're going to use experiences in the past as well as where we're going in the future, all right? So we're going to, why? We got to start with your group. We got a mother and daughter combination here, and auntie and uncle. Please don't say that. Got time management not finished. A great example. Okay, why time management is important. Yeah, okay, all right. I like that. Okay, who wants to go first then?
There you go.
Okay, who wants to go first?
Here we go, right here.
Okay. You were pointing at, okay, let's go ahead and do it. Mental health.
Let's just do it, let's face our giants.
Face the giant. The fear being first.
Can we have more reporters? I mean, they can all say something?
Yes. As you report, you want to add to it, but make sure you write it down because I'm going to put that chart on the wall. Okay, I want that chart on the wall, each of you, so we can look at it and start adding to it. Okay, go for it. Yes, sir.
All right, first of all, everybody, we want to say that the way it is set up is is great. Start off with the time management, and then from time management, working with the mental and physical health, working with education, then working with leadership. It all plays a big role. The reason why, because in the physical part, we look at time. time, God deals with time. And when it comes down to time with us, everything has to play in place where you got to deal with your own personal life, you got to deal with your own attitude with other people, and then you got to keep that time schedule on what your future goal is on your project that you're working on.
Good.
And once you see all that put together, you realize, okay, in a whole big nutshell of everything, prayer is what's going to really bring out the physical part of our daily lives. You deal with stress, you deal with physical health with your body. You know, what you take in, what you take out. You know, all this stuff comes about when it comes down to doing the Lord's work. And if you're not physically set to do the Lord's work in the physical form, then how do you expect for God to physically help you if you're not physically helping yourself? So you got to watch what you eat. That's number one. You know, watch what you take in. You know, because you're taking junk, the mind is cluttered with junk. And you can't think because then you're doing everything else. And then when you're on a time schedule, if you know that you're running late, the anxiety will build up. And with that anxiety build up, you cannot function of keeping the time and keeping what God has in store for you in the later on in the future.
Okay, that sounds good. Anybody want to add to that? Sounds good?
Sounds good.
Anybody want to add to that?
I think he summed it all up, sir.
No, please, somebody, no, please.
Yeah, it was just some of the specifics of, you know, everything that he mentioned and just the alignment. And again, if the mental and the emotional, if they're off, then nothing else is working. You could have the best leadership skills in the world, but if your mental health, if you're stressed out, you're bogged down, if our diet is not right, if we're not feeding the body the appropriate nutrients and balancing those hormones in the brain, those serotonin levels, you know, you can't just eat junk and make that happen. If we're always stressed out, he mentioned stress, therefore we have the other hormone released in the brain, that chemical cortisol, and now it makes the body sick. Now you're having all types of ailments. Now you're behind on, as he mentioned, you're sick that morning. You're calling into work. You cannot function in your classes with your continuing ed and all of that if we are not balanced. We need to be balanced. We need sleep. We need rest. We need to take the time. You could go back to the word and all of that, those unjust balances and weights and things like that. Again, you bring it to today's time. What's the balance there? What is the alignment there? What's being cheated? What's corrupt? We can't stay up all night. We have to go to bed. We need rest. We're not robots. So we just have to pull all of that together. It all works together. And then you have something great. You have this beautiful union. You have this flowing machine if you bring it all together and make it work.
Good job. Good job. Awesome. Good job. So let's take a moment here. Portions of food, kinds of foods. Did you know that God designed foods that look like the part of your body that it will help? Study that. You'll find that tomatoes are good for the heart. It has 4 openings, arteries, shaped just like the heart. Foods that are shaped like your part of the body helps that part of your body. Man makes stuff that will mess up your body if you keep eating that sort of thing. You can do it, excuse me, periodically, but you can't continue living on that. When you shop in a grocery store, shop around the edges first, around the walls. That's where the fresh foods are. Stay out of the aisles as much as possible. And if you can't pronounce it, be careful about eating it. Okay? Healthy. I'm telling you, even though we understand time management, you really start with a healthy mind, healthy body, and then healthy relationships. Healthy relationships. How healthy are you with your family, your marriages? First and foremost, how healthy is your relationship with God? Okay, that's what you'll make sure. Then what kind of relationship do you have with your family? Then how your relationship with your church and your community? How healthy are those relationships? Okay, Who's next? That sounds good. Now, anybody want to add to what they were saying? It's a great job. Okay. Now y'all jumping up trying to be first, trying to be second. I had a hard time getting the first. Now I got 5 seconds. Now I got 3 more teams. Okay, that's funny. Okay, what name yours? You have what now? Continuing?
Continuing education.
Talk to us.
All right, first of all, with continuing education, we said, what is it? It is ongoing training, summits, workshop, reading, development. And one of the things that we talked about, that it is so important that you realize that you can always grow. You can always learn more. You can always get better. You're never, ever at the point where, oh, I'm satisfied. I got everything. I know everything. Because we're not there. And we have to continue to grow. And it's not just a knowledge growth thing, that's very important, but it's also a spiritual growth thing. And then there's also the physical. So the holistic approach looks at continuing education in terms of not only learning, but in the spiritual, the mental, and the physical. And so we need to have ongoing workshops and training for everybody, and not just for a few, but for the entire church. And one of the suggestions from our group is the auxiliaries could have special trainings from that auxiliary that they do in their area, and then when they're ready, they bring it to the entire congregation.
Good.
And so God wants us to always grow. He does not want us to become stagnant and stay in one place, because he's looking for growth. There's always another level of glory that we can get to, and we have to have that zeal and that excitement and that energy that I want more. I want to learn more. I want to be better. I want to do better. And so we need to have a continuing education department in the church that offers sessions and workshops, and maybe even going to Myrtle Beach for a weekend with
Come on now.
leadership training or mental health. You know, working on our mental health so that we're good. See, that continuing education is the holistic picture, and you can look at all of our areas of how we can build our church up and our community through knowledge and understanding and technology, because some of the older ones, like myself, we're not up there where we need to be with technology, but we want to be using technology for the good, for the glory of God, and not for the bad. Even with AI, we need to learn what it is and how to use it, but for the good, for the glory of God. So whatever we are training or working on, it is for our growth, our spiritual growth, and to glorify God, and to build up our spiritual gifts in the house of God to benefit not just the church, but the community also. So did I miss anything?
Sounds good.
Okay.
I like that. I like that continuing education department in the church. I think that's important as a concept to begin. That's great. Anybody want to add to the group information?
Yeah, like the Bible says, people perish for the lack of knowledge.
Yes.
You know, so you got to have that knowledge, keep on going, regardless if you feel that everything is okay. You know, you can always go back and make it better. You know, you know, some preachers, they always we preach on the same sermon that they preached last week, because the next time it gets better. You know, it's more of knowledge, it's more of education. So that's very important. Education is very important.
Go ahead.
And two, with me, I didn't know the computer that well, and when I was in school system, and a lot of the older bus drivers, they didn't know how to go on and do on the computer, because then we had to go on the computer to do our insurance and all of that. And lo and behold, thank you, Jesus. I knew how to go on the computer and do my insurance, and I said, thank you, Lord. Because I knew how to do it. Thank you to the Lord. And I know how to go on the computer and go on there. I give God the glory and all of that. Thank God for my children and helping me.
And
Good.
thank God for that, and I'm gonna continue to learn how to go on the computer and learn how to do it. I'm gonna learn how to do the AI too.
There you go. That's good. That is good. And with that being said, that's how you get next generation. I also two men here. The next generation to help us with that, because using their skills to say, show me how to do this.
Yes.
It's going to help us connect with them.
Yes.
And then give them some autonomy, or, okay, I feel good, man. I'm teaching my grandma, my grandpa how to do this. Now you're connecting with them. That's important, okay? And don't be afraid of those computers. I mean, don't be afraid of them. They look intimidating, but once you tell them I'm in charge, I push the buttons, then you got it, okay? Good job. Who's next? Who's next? Time management? Now you're last, okay? Just messing with it. Just having some fun. Come on, talk to me. Talk. What you got there?
Okay, we got leadership. So the shorthand, the ability.
Leadership, okay. Leadership skills.
Yeah.
Right. This is good.
This is my daughter. Hello, everybody. How y'all doing?
Computer door. Okay, go ahead.
Leadership, the ability to influence people to where come and go. We said that there are not limited actions of a leader. Supposed to be a leader. They're supposed to show by example to be a leader.
Good.
A good, great leader. You're supposed to have a positive attitude, focus on the vision, motivation. You're supposed to have accountability. You can't expect your people to do it and then you don't do it as well. You know, you're supposed to do as you ask your people to do.
That's right. Good.
You're supposed to have clear communication. You're supposed to coach your people. If you're a leader, you're supposed to be able to coach someone. You're supposed to build strong relationships, problem solver, decision making, vision, strategy. You're supposed to see the big picture, not always looking at the small picture all the time.
Okay.
Set goals and to push your team forward to accomplish the goal that God has in store or God's plans is to keep it pushing forward. Don't let it get stagnant and get stuck in one in a small hole.
Good.
We're supposed to lead by example, continuous learning, because we can always continue learning God's word. We can always learn from each other.
Yeah.
If we have good leadership, we can always learn from each other. I can come to you and say, iron's supposed to sharpen iron, right? So I can come to you, you come to me, and then I won't get attitude with you because I got good leadership skills.
That's
Right?
it. We're sharpening each other.
Right.
I like that.
To become a better leader, we need to humble ourselves.
Good.
Listen to whenever someone comes to us to have an issue or anything. I think a question came up in our group that, what would you do? Me, I'm a leader at my church. So if someone come to me like, ma'am, if you come to me and say, well, I got an issue, somebody said something to me or something like that, I will do as best as I can that God lead me to help you. Then after that, I will go to my head, which is my bishop and my elect ladies, to let them know what's going on, just so they'll be in the loop, just in case something get bigger than what it is.
Exactly.
Understanding we're supposed to discipline ourselves and deal with ourselves before we can lead anybody. We sit here dealing with stress, or we sit here dealing with worration, we sit here dealing with crazy stuff. We are not able to go and lead nobody. We won't be an effective leader if we don't handle ourselves first. If we don't go in and say, God, please forgive me for that sin I just committed maybe an hour ago. Forgive me for my sins. But then if I don't, then if somebody come in and say, well, I just sinned or I just did this right here, I'm sitting in judgment because I'm not able to lead effectively because I didn't handle myself. So I'll be in my personal feelings when I'm sitting here dealing with somebody else if I don't handle myself first.
Good.
Well, that's what any leader. Keep confidential conversations confidential. Be trustworthy. Handle any and all issues with the head pastor, assistant pastor. And the leaders don't need to overwhelm themselves with issues because we know we have a lot of people that we have, well, the pastors and the assistant pastors have a lot of people that they have to deal with, not only in church, but on the outside of church who may have questions for them, may send them, can I call you, get prayer through? So we gotta make sure that the leaders are not overwhelming themselves, because, you know, they have to be able to recoup and get some strength from the Lord in order to continue on moving forward. Amen.
Okay, okay. She said A to the man. It is so. Okay. Something that both tables said that I want to say before we release our time management group, and that is something we do in our leadership team. We tell them every 3 months, you have to take off from the church. You have to go somewhere a weekend, not in our church. You cannot come to church on that Sunday. Every 3 months, you have to do something to refresh yourself. Even if you can't do vacations, you have to go someplace else. We found how important that is because it redefines, it recreates them. They'll see something in another church and say, wow, that's a good idea. Or at least I don't have to do anything, just sit here and just enjoy it. I work so hard when I'm at church and Pastor Elliot's preaching, and I'm thinking about, oh, did we count that money? Oh, did we do so? I can't even stay focused on the message. So sometimes you need to just get away so you can really hear the word of God and just do nothing. Just sit back and sit all the way in the back of the church and throw your arm across the back of the seat and say, I am doing absolutely nothing this Sunday. So when you go back to your church, you've been revived. Okay? So keep that in mind. That's something you can do with when you all create that team. Okay. Okay, time management is your time. And now they got attitude. I love it.
I don't have an attitude, sir, but it goes along with what I was to start off with. Whenever you know manage your time right, it gets you stressed out and upset and worked up. We wanted to go and you told us we were gonna be last, but I'm not mad. So, time management is the process of planning and exercising conscious control over how you spend your time to increase effectiveness, efficiency, and productivity. Just a couple points. It keeps you in control versus being overwhelmed. When you manage your time, you tell your day what to do instead of letting it run you. So if I was using an example for time management, I created a to-do list. And I told them I call it the rubber balls and the glass balls. The glass balls are the things that I have to handle immediately. They can't go over to tomorrow. And the rubber balls are the things that could bounce a couple more days. So using time management, you have to realize and understand what's most important and those things that could wait a little bit. It helps honor your priorities. Good time management makes space for what really matters. Goals, family, faith, and rest. You stop wasting energy on distractions that don't serve your purpose. So if you, when you got good time management, again, you figure out what's most important. And of course, like I said, you set your goals. You always make time for your family. You make time for faith, coming to church and doing the things of the church. And most importantly, you get your rest, which goes with that all of those emotional, the physical, the mental, all that stuff, so you can be productive. It boosts productivity without burnout. When your time has structure, you get more done and you have more energy. You keep deadlines, commitments, and you have time for yourself. Versus whenever you don't use proper time management, it creates anxiety. I know a little bit about that. This week I had that. I told Elder Tim earlier, he was like, how was your week? I said, this week beat me up. But it beat me up and it was my fault because I didn't use my time right. So 2 weeks ago, my consultant emailed me and told me that I had my worksheet was due by Wednesday. But of course, I didn't like this week. Just so much going on. I didn't line up my rubber balls and my glass balls. That should have been a glass ball. So that resulted in me spending, I'm only gonna get paid for 40 hours this week, but Creative Schools got about 60 out of me. But it's all good, but it's my fault. So next time I know better. Good. So so I had to spend time later at work doing the worksheet. I got 24 staff and 22 lines to fill out. It was stressful, anxiety, but at the end of the day, I couldn't get mad at nobody but Vanessa because I didn't use my time management right. How do we know that our time management is effective? We're not stressed, we're not overwhelmed, we're at peace. and people are happier. We have to understand that the decisions that we make, it don't only affect us, but it affects everybody connected to us and around us. So when you don't use your time management right, when you're not where you're supposed to be on time, and people are on time because they use their time management right, it affects them. So yes, people will get upset. People will have attitudes because you weren't where you're supposed to be when you were supposed to be there. It also builds trust and integrity. When people learn they can trust you because you will show up and follow through, because they know that, hey, I told such and such this, and I know they're gonna be there. Consistency opens doors. So make sure that those people around you, and you tell them that you're gonna do something, you're gonna be somewhere, you're there, and you're gonna use your time management because I said this and I'm keeping my word. The last thing, this is one of my sayings, time is important. I tell people all the time, waste my money, don't waste my time. I could get my money back. Really don't waste neither, but really don't waste my time because I can't get that back. And that's it for time management with us.
Girl, you did that. You did that.
She took the time to do it.
Look, I stress myself out, but when I do it, oh, it be worth it.
You worked that. So, and tied everybody else's in with it. That was great. Awesome job. Now, with what you have now, let me give you a scenario. We'll give you a scenario, and then with that, think about what your group is doing and see if your group could help with this situation. Okay? Here's your scenario. You invited a church to come to you from an afternoon service. The service was scheduled at 5 p.m. You had your morning service, or whatever time that was. You got a call that on the way there, they were driving their church bus. They were coming from Virginia. An hour away from you right now, the bus broke down. Okay, that's what you have. Is there anything that these groups could have done or can do now with that scenario? They're 1 hour away from you, 1 hour away, and it's already 4 o'clock. Is there anything you can do or could have done? Any group?
That's why it's important to have a church bus. If you
Church
got a
bus?
church bus, you can go get them.
Got a church bus, you can go get it. Okay, so we're speaking of finances? Having money? What group is that? Is that a group? Having money? Time management? No, that's not under the thing, okay. That's not under personal development, that's not under the thing, okay. Skip that one, okay, that's good. What else?
Cancel the service.
Somebody can make a decision to do what? Cancel the service. Could you really do the service? They're an hour away, broke down, it's 4 o'clock, the service is at 5 or whatever.
And you don't have transportation.
You don't have transportation.
The schedule's already met for the service to start. We should carry on the service.
You can carry on the service, could you? Without that?
Yes? Yes?
Okay, let's say, somebody say cancel, someone says carry on. Let's look at that. Let's take that for a moment. Who makes the decision to cancel or carry on?
Leadership.
Leadership makes the decision, okay? So if the leader says cancel, what do you do to, we know we're gonna cancel, hopefully without an attitude. We know you're gonna cancel without an attitude. What do you do to help the church get back to Virginia or anything at all? What do you do?
Go see what you could do to help them get back home safely.
Okay, you say go see,
Call another bus company.
okay? All those sound good. What's the first thing you need to do before you call or go see?
Call pray.
I like that. Prayer, good. And behind that,
Call them. They just need.
call them.
They need to be at ease and know, hey,
Somebody got your back. Okay, good. Somebody got your back. We're going to do that if we cancel the service. Okay, so what's most important is now, not what happens inside the church, what happens outside the church. This is where your ministry starts. Okay, you could have the service. I've done this before, and I've had 4 different churches. A couple of them say, we got to go ahead and have that service. We don't spend that money, get that food up in here before we eat. Somebody got to pay for this. Others say, let's cancel And I said, okay, where's your ministry? And either one can be right, depending. I'm not going to argue about right or wrong. I think the key is, where's ministry? Where's your greatest ministry now? Outside. Okay, I'm going with outside the church. My greatest ministry now is outside. How do we help that body of believers get back? Or do we just leave and say, oh, well, we're praying for you?
Communication is a big goal.
You got to go with it.
Communicate. You got to
Communicate.
communicate. You got to communicate.
Okay, good. Help me out. Keep going. Well, I'm going to be that pastor. I'm that pastor. I'm calling you and saying, my bus broke down, man. I could come on down there and be there about 5:30 and leave them and see how they can work it out. Would you want that pastor to do that?
No.
Leaving his membership not known?
No.
Okay. What would you suggest then?
First of all, I would ask you, where are you at this time?
Okay, we're out there an hour from you. We've established that.
What's your location?
Location? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Where was your location, so you'll know where the location is?
Good.
So you can send someone where their location at, how far they are.
Okay, now why is this important?
They're in trouble, they're broken down, they're limited in their resources, no access. You have more access where you are. You probably have your computers, you can look up, who can I Google real quick to get them, like she said, a mechanic or someone to get to them. They've been sitting there, they may have dead phones and it's just, you know.
So the first thing is we need to access the situation. What are we dealing with? Okay? We already determined we're not going to have this service. Instead of bringing someone in, now we're going out to do mission work. We're on a mission.
It's called roadside service.
Roadside service. Okay, we can be there roadside service. But most of the time, churches now have some kind of way to get roadside service. I got AAA. Some people use other things to help out in that sort of situation. However, we still have a responsibility. Once the church agrees to come, even if something happens and they don't get there, where are we financially, stability-wise, that we can go out and help them? And then who can stay here to make sure this is maintained? Or do we take that food now? We got homeless people. Can we give it to the homeless or feed somebody else? Or I didn't say that. I meant to ask you, what are you going to do with the food?
We're going to take it to them.
Take it to them.
Let's take it to them.
Or you will eat some and take some. We're going to teach them. We're going to eat some and take some.
They're probably hungry.
Yeah, we're going to take it to them upside. Okay, look, we're coming. And we're going to bring the food. Somebody's going to eat this food. They're on the bus.
They go with it.
Tag it. Take it. Good idea. I like that. I like that. It's a good idea. Okay. What else you feel you can do now? Anything else we may have missed?
That is a good missionary work. Is going to them, finding their location and going to them, to assist them, because they was coming to assist us.
Yeah.
So I believe that we should go back and assist them in the best way we can. We had the food, okay, we can feed them because, you don't know how long they've been stranded, and then you can't get in contact with anybody else because they might be in the dead zone when it comes to the cell phones, so.
Yeah.
It's, that communication, and then I said, go out to them if you can, should the leader go? I believe the leader should, assign different ones to go, and if the leader feel that it's impossible for them to go as well, then yes, that leader should go as well.
Good.
That would be their opinion if they want to do it that way. But I believe that you got a church, okay, the church got to function in that one accord.
Good.
Or you can ask them, how can you assist them?
Okay.
Ask them, how can you assist, because they might not, they've been through so much, they might not even wanna eat. You know what I'm saying?
Maybe so.
Yeah, they might not wanna eat, and they are, with the time management and stuff, they might wanna go back home, so they might can call some of their family members that maybe come and, help them out.
Right, if you think about Virginia Beach and from where you are, they're probably still about 3 hours away from back home. Yeah, it's about 3 hours
It's a long way.
It is. I think I take them some food anyway.
Yeah.
Packed, ready to go. Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to give you a 10-minute break because it's almost lunchtime, but I want to give you a break. And when we come back, I'm going to share something else with you. We're going to try another little activity, and I'll give you why the activity works. But in the meantime, take your sheets, make sure the title is big at the top, and put it on this wall so we can see that work, okay? You have 10 minutes. Tina, turn it back down so no one else can see it but you. Get a card from your table. If you want to get two for somebody else who doesn't want to walk up here, that'll be fine. But don't look at theirs and don't let them look at yours. No one looks at anybody's card. You can bring all of them if you want to and hand to everybody in your table. That's fine. But don't let anybody see what's on that card.
Let's see what's on the card.
You said look at it and put it back down?
No, look at it and turn it back over. You can hold on to it, but don't show it to anybody. Hold on to the card, but don't let anybody see it. Hold on to your card. Don't let anybody see it. Okay. Okay, everyone has a card? Okay, now if you will, when I say go, look at your card and then turn it back down. Go. Turn it over. Okay, now everyone, hopefully you remember that particular song. I hope you remember those songs. Now, what you're going to do is hum it. You can't sing it. You're going to hum it until everybody in this church is in the group that you hummed. You're humming the same song that they're humming. You have to hum until your group is completely the same. Okay? And then all of you be in your one group in one area. We don't need the cards anymore. I'll take those back up in just a moment. But right now, I need you to start humming and find your group. Go for it. Go.
What's your home? What's your home name? What's your home? Calm down, son.
Nah, we.
Just hum. Don't talk. Just hum. You should be with your group. Move your group to one section. When you get your singles, move to a section. Don't knock over the camera, please. We got a video of this. Move your group to a whole new section, please. I can see. This looks like confusion here.
So you guys go back up to the table?
You sit with your group. I want to hear what you're humming. Okay. Okay, hold. Freeze. Freeze. Now, I need to hear these songs. I didn't have a 3 songs, but it looks like I got 6 groups. I can't can't figure that out. I had 3 songs, I got 6 groups. Something is wrong.
That's us, I know that was you.
Okay. Okay. Okay, let me hear what you got. Okay,
That's him, you with them.
You didn't give that card, did you?
That's right, that's right. Okay, let me hear yours. Oh, good, okay. That's good. Now what you got? Let me hear your group. What's your group? Now, good. Okay, that's enough. Now, what do you all have? Go ahead. Oh, good. Awesome. All right. Don't move, because here's what we need to find out. Again, you got an activity where you were supposed to find everybody without saying anything. So what the humming? How did the humming help or hurt? What did we assume by giving you that card? What did I assume?
I could hum.
Yeah, you could hum. Number 2.
We on one accord.
Oh, you on one accord. 2. You could hear. 3.
Recognize tune.
You recognize the tune. 4. Anything else? We took a lot. We took a lot for granted. It's a risk. Leadership is a risk. You take a lot for granted, but what you can look at is, we didn't want you to read it, we didn't want you to say it, don't show the card, but you got to pull out everything else in you other than what we consider. Look, mine is Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star. Yeah.
So you and us.
Yeah. Okay. Your team. Okay, good. So the key would be paying attention to what you have and then operate. So when you pull up in your groups, how did you stay together?
We connect.
Oh, yeah, that's
We wrap them arms.
Yeah.
Connecting arms. Okay, when it was not your tune, what did you do? Walked away. Okay, now what does that say about leadership? When it's not yours, leave it alone. Let it go.
Stay in your lane.
Stay in your lane. Give me some more terms like that. What else? What else can you do when it's not yours? When it's not it's not your vision. It's not your mission statement. It's not what your church is about. What do you do with it?
It's not my monkey, it's
It's
not
not-
my circus.
It's not my monkey. It's not my service. I like that. Okay, what else you get? What else do you pick up from this? Anything else?
Don't try to fit in when it's not yours.
Good. Exactly. Don't fit in if it's not your tune. If it's not what you are about, if it's not what your vision is, if it's not what you're supposed to be eating. Don't. Folks tell me, did you go and eat? I'm allergic to shellfish. So they tell me, get you some Benadryl and go ahead and eat the shellfish. I said, no. Leave the Benadryl on the shelf. I save money. I don't take a risk.
Right.
No.
Right.
I don't sing Old MacDonald. I'm singing Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star. So you don't have a high blood pressure and put salt on the food.
Right.
There's some things you got to figure out about life. You can't do that anymore. You follow me?
Right.
So in leadership, you got to make. I forgot what group said that, but one of you said about you lead by example. Which one of you said that? One of your groups said that. Leading by example.
Yes.
Okay, does this make sense?
Yes.
Okay, back to your seats. I'm going to get you ready to eat lunch in just a few minutes. I need my cards back. Yeah, this works in all my workshops. This will have me a little bit worried here that I didn't know this group was going to come out, but you all did really good.
You was stuck on Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star. That's us.
Yes, that was, yeah. I wanted to hear Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star. But no, great job. I lost Zebediah. He was supposed to help me with that, but I lost it. Thank you. And get my cards back. Thank you. Somebody pulled up one of my cards. I saw that. Okay, I get all my cards back? No, I didn't. Any more? Here they come. Here they come. Thank you, sweetheart. Great job. Okay. Oh, some more. Okay, let's go to the screen, Tina. The one I told you about. Let's go. Now, I want to share something with you about read this with me. Everybody, read what's in red. And read what's in green. Let's try it again. Read what's in red. Stop doing church work. Read what's in green. Start doing the work of the church. Now take a couple minutes and share with your partner someone and tell them what that means to you. Share with them, what does that mean to you? Okay, I've heard some great things. My ears will pick up really good. Some of you saying some good things. But let's talk out loud. What does that sound like to you? What does that mean? Anybody want to make comments on that?
Stop doing it. Stop doing church work. That means stop doing church work. Busy work. Huh? Stop doing busy work. Just busy stuff. Yeah, stop doing busy work. That means you're just busy doing nothing on your own. And start doing the work of the church, which is soul winning.
Soul winning? Okay.
Doing what God will have you to do.
Good, good. And that's exactly what it means. And back then, yes, sir. All the way back with the arm across the road. You were doing yourself, yeah. This must not be your church. I'm really drunk, I said.
Well, what I was telling my group is, like, you have to stop preaching and stop doing everything in the church. You can think of, you have to reach the people on the outside, you have to go to the homeless, give them resources that they can use. I guess, like, get on their level sometimes.
Good, good. Because we can get so, I'm sorry, go ahead, I have some more minutes.
It could be like a Mary and a Martha.
Ah, good example, good example. One is busy, gotta get the food, Girl, you better help me. And the other one sitting at the feet of Jesus. Okay.
I have a thought on that one too, as far as stop doing church work. It's more like, being into self, you're putting yourself in the forward, but not being approved by the church and by being approved of what the church wants to be done.
Good.
So I'd say putting yourself in the front line, when you don't need to be seen. If you want to be seen, do what God tells you to do. When it comes down to the church, don't do it because you want to be the key person out there. So that's what I think about the church.
That's good. That's good. And I like that as well. Okay, now.
How about is God pleased
Is God pleased?
with the work
Yeah.
that I'm doing?
You know,
Make a choice.
Pastor, that is so powerful because we figured out when we started looking at our leadership, where did this come from? Why are we still doing this now? And you realize it was something somebody made up a long time ago, and God never told us to do it. We just did it because we thought back in 1971 it was a great idea. Yeah. I got a book we're reading right now about that. Every good idea is not a God idea. Yes, good point. So here's what, in just a few moments, if you allow me another 15 minutes, I'm going to do something here, and then I want you to give you a chance to do some Q&A. I didn't get anything on the parking lot chart, so we're going to follow through on some things. I'm going to show you the what I call proper church growth. Next screen, Tina. It's called proper church growth. Churches have to become hospitals to families to soldiers. Churches are supposed to be hospitals build families, and then soldiers. Now let's think of what a hospital truly is. If you take a hospital that is more than a local kind of emergency place, a hospital, next screen please, Tina. A hospital provides medical, surgical, nursing, they do rehab, they do medication, depending on what the need is. A hospital has clinical departments, nursing departments, support departments, technical department, administration, and on and on. It's not just one thing for all. They know how to meet the need of different people. Some folk need rehab or come and get medication. Someone else may need major surgery. So they have staff on hand to handle the need of each individual. Follow me now, okay? That's what a hospital does. Everybody doesn't need this supportive part. And not everybody needs surgery. We don't need to perform major surgery, somebody who just needs a little rehab. So, but we have to have the vision to understand which person needs what. By listening to the need, we meet that need by listening to what the person has need of. Okay? Our church has its hand on the community as well. Okay? Let's go to the next screen, Tina. Another thing about churches is they're supposed to be family oriented. You're supposed to build groups, uniting ties of those that are married. When you think about a family, it's the bloodline or adoption. And it deals with a single household and how they interact with each other. They have social positions. Not everybody in the family is in the kitchen cooking, but everybody may have a responsibility of cleaning or whatever. There are parents, there are children, there are siblings, there are spouses. That's what a family looks like, okay? In a church, they're supposed to be the same thing. You start creating families. People come to your church. They become part of your family.
That's right.
And you got to let them know the social order of a family. Okay, not everybody coming in is a parent in that area of understanding leadership, but you got to understand this is a child, a brand new baby in Christ. I can't put them in charge of the money. They cannot be in the finance department yet. We got to figure out how they fit so that we feel like a family moving forward. Big family, doesn't matter. But the point is, everybody know who the parents are, who the adult children are, as well as siblings understand each other. Siblings have to do with what we call accountability. We make sure each other know. Look, you know mom ain't gonna put up with it. You gonna make dad angry. As a kid, my spiritual kids called me at church, don't make Mufasa angry. Ooh, Mufasa, Mufasa, Mufasa. So they knew, we don't put up with that. We don't do that. And so you have to have that order. Next screen. Soldiers. Those are those who are trained fighters. They know how to use, of course, they're defending our country. The government, they defend, they carry weapons, they risk their lives, they go through the process of making sure that their safety. So if a church is truly what it is supposed to be, let's go to the next screen, Tina. No, am I going too far? No, let's back all the way back to the first screen where I had all three of them on there. Where is that? Yeah, one more. Proper church growth. There it is here. So what I'm saying to you, a church is supposed to be able to bring in, no matter what the situation is, into the body, deal with them individually, collectively, prayer, whatever the needs might be, study, training, bringing them forward, let them understand the hierarchy of a church. There is a hierarchy. We have pastors, we have leaders, we have deacons, we have people that will help them grow. Then you bring them to the point of family, feeling a part of this body of believers. But then you send them out to be warriors, to win souls for Christ. You send them out to reach those folk that were out there lost. Now, many of them will get wounded.
Yeah.
They get wounded. So what happens next? You bring them back to the hospital.
That's right.
They may not need major surgery, but they may need just a little bit of rehab. They might need a little something to help them get back in the battlefield again. Okay, feeling good about what they were doing, finding out what happened that time, how they got wounded, what happened. Oh, I didn't realize I was still dealing with this in my own personal life. But when I got out there, I realized, I couldn't handle that situation. I wasn't ready for that. But if I talk to you about a church, that's what a church should be. We should be able to work in every area. When you have people that have family-oriented mindsets, they're the one who grows his church. They grow that body. They grow the people. And I want you to look at this for a moment and pay attention to where are you? Where would this church be? Where will your church be? We got several churches here today. And I want to move up to the questions. Now you can, Tina, you can go to the next. Miss Tina? Okay. She disappeared. There you go, right there. I don't know where she is, but she did that thing. Okay. Thank you, Tina. How would you describe your church role as a hospital, in the role of a hospital? How would you describe your church in the role of developing a family structure? How would you describe your church in the role of developing soldiers for Christ? Okay. So now, looking at that, I'm not going to have time to go through all of the details and steps with you because that takes some time for us to break down. I will bring you back to your individual churches, and you wouldn't do this with other people in other churches. I need you then to say, all Bible way need to be over here, and all of, give me the name of another church. Burning Bush need to be over here, and whatever church needs to be right here, and this church needs to be over there, so we can now say, okay, where do we need to move up? And by paying attention, by looking at what we said, do we need continuing education in this area? Okay, we are not a hospital yet, so we need to know how to manage our time. We're good at preaching. Well, we can preach them and learn. They run around the church, tearing the place up. But when they get through tearing the place up, I don't know what they said, but Lord, we had church. We had church. Great. But we got to get some knowledge up here. We got to get some understanding. We got to be able to say, okay, what is my role as a leader? Am I supposed to shout to people, bring them in here, take up their offering? I did my part. There's more to it. Are we now building families that people feel a part of this body and they understand their role? And you can say, look, as much as I love you, we got to work on your time management. You're great when you finally get here. You're awesome. But we really need you here 30 minutes before the service gets started because of what we do with the role that you carry. Y'all follow me? They never thought about time management. So let's work with them on how to manage their time. Am I making sense? That's what the hospital does in you. The hospital in you says, this person's not really sick, they just don't know how to manage their time. And someone else who didn't do well in school may be afraid of workshops. You can tell them, let me show you how to Google up things and how to pay attention to everything that you Google up is not really real now. So let's verify what you're Googling up. Let's make sure that we can help you get some information on how to get better at something. Or let's go to this little workshop together. You don't have to say anything. I'll go with you. Now you're building a family. That person feels part of what you're doing until they're ready to go out there and be a soul winner for Christ. Let me share something with you right quick. And then I'll let you ask questions because it's about that time. I'm doing the leadership training for all of our clergy. We have about 21 clergy in our church, and I'm doing the training from doctrine of the Holy Ghost, the doctrine of God, the doctrine of Jesus Christ, and on. And their assignment last month was cold call saving, getting someone saved. Cold call, which means that it's not that the pastor was preaching and you came up to the altar and stood there, and someone comes to the altar and you lead them to Christ. No, cold call is nobody made an altar call, nobody's in church. You might be out at the playground with your grandkids and lead somebody to Jesus Christ right there. And we were prepared for that. I told them, you got 30 days to find somebody, lead somebody to Christ. Do you know how hard that was for the pastors, these clergy to do? And we're supposed to be soul winners? They scratched their head and thought about, you know what? That is not as easy as I thought. Now, I know people. I know it's got to be somebody you don't even know. Wow. Maybe some of you don't even know. Just somebody you passed by. The girl that's serving the girl that's serving your food to you, leading them to Christ. You know, that sort of thing. Cold calls. You know, Jesus did that all the time. He didn't know these folks. He just walked up to somebody at the well and start talking. Give me something to drink. Make a conversation and lead them. Am I making sense? So that's what we start talking about. How do we truly make this better? So next screen, Tina. As a leader, how would your role change from the hospital to the family, from the family to the soldier? And how will you use this information to better prepare the shift, the growth in your church ministry? I'm expecting all of you to grow in some area. I'm expecting this workshop to spur you enough to say, at least now I know we need to be working on whatever, continuing education. At least I see now that we need to do whatever. Okay, so as your role right now as a leader, give me some, pop it back to me, give me some information, and I'm going to stop and ask questions. Believe me, I am nowhere near finished, but I wanted to start working on something where you can say, I'm thinking. What do you think your role is, depending on what office you hold in this church or your church, that you need to do? Say, I think I can see myself now becoming better at this. I need to work on my time management, or I need to be working on, I need some more skills. I need some more education in this area. I need to get in better shape. I just need to drop off some things. I'm doing too much. I'm over here doing this, doing that. What do you think? What does your role need to be? Talk to me.
Christian education.
Christian education. Good. Christian education, you agree? I need to be educated on what that means, how to make it work. Good. Anybody else, what do you think? And individually now, I'm not talking about the whole church, just you as an individual. Oh, you all don't need to work on anything. Okay. You know what?
I want to ensure that we are acting as a hospital in every area. As you said, there are different people for different things, but making sure we can meet every need that comes in the house as a hospital.
That's good. Okay. Working on that. Seeing the needs and not putting everybody in the same boat.
Yeah.
I preached a sermon and once I shared a note in the sermon. When the only thing you have is a hammer in your toolbox, everything looks like a nail.
Wow.
You need to consider more tools.
Wow.
And I'm trying to get you more tools in your box. Some things don't need to be hit. It's a screwdriver. You need the right kind of screwdriver. You need pliers. You need to understand what needs to be turned, not beat down all the time. Never mind. Any other thoughts? Anybody else? What else do you like to see develop in your church or in you as an individual? Okay. Well, thank you. I want to make sure that's good. Any questions? Any questions about anything I've shared with you or any thought that you would have about leadership?
While the doctor's here,
Come out and say something. Come on now.
go to the doctor's office and don't tell the doctor what's going on.
Yeah, I need to know. Yeah, I can help them. Because I know they got lunch ready for you. Yes, ma'am.
I like the idea of being a strong soldier and how as the individual going out and ministering in people and bringing them to Christ and doing it without any apprehension.
That's good. I like that too. And if you remember when Jesus sent his disciples out, or those that he won, he sent them back to the multitude. Let me show you how that works. The multitude is a mixture of people that come from everywhere.
That's right.
Okay, they are just anybody. But out of that multitude who just needed miracles, he then would say, those who believe, and out of the multitude comes the believers. So that's a smaller group than the multitude. He trained believers to become disciples. Okay, just because a person is in the multitude, you can't really depend on them. They haven't made a choice yet. They like miracles, they like big crowds. But when they make the choice to say, I believe, then you bring them forward. Now the next level of training is I take believers to make them disciples. Watch this. Then out of Jesus' disciples, he had 3 that he could bring close to him. Peter, James, and John. Okay? So even out of your disciples, you have specific abilities before you send them out. And you send them back to the multitude. Some people can only preach to believers because it's all the message they have.
That's right.
But you and I have to be able to reach multitude. The mixed mass of confused people. But you need specific skills to do that. You got to be trained not only with your gift, what God gave you, but you also have to be trained on how to win people to Christ.
That's right.
We can't do it just because, are you saved? Do you know Jesus? I like talking to people. How can I pray for you? What's the need I can pray for you? And they would say, well, so and so and so and so. I said, well, what's your relationship with Jesus Christ? How does that work? How's that working? Well, I pray sometime. Well, he wants to hear you every day. Then it starts to, I found a way to get in there. Then we start talking about your relationship. Look, he wants to meet with you. He doesn't want you to just have somebody else praying for you. And then we start to win them. Okay, I'm talking. Anybody else? Any questions? Any comments? Yes, sir.
I have a question. I'm old school. I've been in church for practically half of my life. And back in the time of being trained in the churches, we talk about, how to win souls to Christ. And you get a lot of people going to talk about, you're going to hell if you don't do this. You're going to hell if you don't do that. It's always about hell, but nobody is not telling them, okay, how to get to Christ and how to be born again. And now you verse that into the new churches on today, on the teaching that they're receiving today, it's much different than how I was brought up into the church and how I was trained in the church as well. I love old time religion music, versus to what the music is on today. I love the old time preaching, back then versus what I hear today. I love being in church practically 24/7, where today you're going to get to church one day a week. There's a lot of changes that goes on when it comes down to this walk, that we're doing. So how do we converse that into what's going on now to how you've been brought up in the past?
It's a good question. And I'll tell you what we've had to do. I call it the Tesla theology. The Tesla is a vehicle that is, of course, we know it's electric. It's plugged in a different place. There's a group of people that are like the Teslas. They are going to get theirs without coming inside your church. Online. They're going to get it, and they're not coming into a church. Then you got the gas engine people that believe like you. They're coming to church. They don't believe you had church until you sit up in that pew and heard that preacher pray, "Our Heavenly Father." They got to hear that. They got to touch the choir. So you got both mentalities. You got those that's going to come inside the church, and those you got to reach who won't come inside your church. So how do you find the balance? You've got to have a ministry that we're learning, like somebody said, I'm learning, not learned, I'm learning. Okay, I think it was Jenny said that, right? Okay, that we are learning that we have to be able to have something going on our Facebook, YouTube page that attracts them. They pay attention to that. And when we want to take an offering, we have to keep popping that little thing in there. We got to let them know you can see us online, you can get this. And they're pulling information. Now, and I share this with AV team. You got to remember, you say right here because she's video. You got to remember that people are online are never going to be your wife. They're just going to be your girlfriend. Treat the people online like a girlfriend. They're not faithful to you. Wives are faithful. They're not faithful. Just know that they're going to the next best thing. If yours ain't better than what somebody, they're going to one that's really much better. But know that's a girlfriend, never a wife. Those who come into the house of God and pay their tithes, they're your wives. They're going to hang around there, even when you don't get it quite right. But be able to know you got both that you're going to have to deal with. And many times you got to bring your young people on to be able to be the ones out front singing those songs and bring praise and worship. I'm telling you, those young folk can draw other young people. And I'm wondering sometimes, you look at their attire and the way they're doing it. I'm wondering, Lord Jesus, help me, Lord. Help me, Lord. But you look, they're bringing other young people in. They're coming up to the altar. We're praying for them. They're struggling with mental issues. And we're saying, well, it's growing. And I'm seeing Jesus talking to the woman who was caught in the very act of adultery. And he says, neither do I condemn you. I know you did wrong. And now we're seeing that the church is now doing the work that he called it to do because we have both. I took a long time to say that, but I want you to understand the picture here is two kinds. The Teslas, the electric cars, and the gas engine. The gas engine got to come into church, put that tank, put that nozzle in my tank, fill me up so I can leave here shouting and dancing with the Holy Ghost. Okay? But the other one said, I can get it online with my fingers and my thumbs. Hope that makes sense. But we got to be balanced. I see somebody use that word over here, balance. I heard them use that in one of the meetings. Okay? Thank you. Anybody else? Well, I'm so grateful for you. I can smell the food. It's hard to keep going when you smell the food. All right. Thank you all so much. May you live long and prosper. May the best be yours. And if we get a chance to come back again, we'll do more of the same on another level. Thank you very much. You're back in the hands of Pastor